Good evening, it's meteorologist Michael Fecca. Welcome back to the 9 p.m. all-weather, all-streaming show that we do here every night during the workdays and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms as well as to Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So if you are joining us from either of those platforms, please feel free to leave a question or a comment down below. Hopefully I'll be able to address it as I go through the forecast, but if not, I'll go through at the very end and see if I can address anything individually for you. So let's get started here with a look at our headlines. And top of the headlines here is we've added some alert days. I'm going to take that full screen just so you can get a better look at it. Sunday through Tuesday, we added alert for that heat and humidity. We were talking about that heat building up this weekend, and yesterday it was looking like we would at least remain below heat advisory criteria, but that has changed. So we've warmed all the way up. We're likely going to top out in the mid to maybe even upper 90s, but heat index values will be all the way up into the triple digits, ending somewhere between 103 to 107. So it is going to be hot out there, making sure you guys are paying attention to that, keeping a close eye on yourself and your family and friends, making sure everyone's got air conditioning and is staying properly hydrated. But outside of that, I'll break down those heat index values of what we can expect coming up a little bit later. But here's what we can expect in general through the next couple of days. We've got some patchy fog overnight tonight, but generally quiet. We've got that alert in effect Sunday through Tuesday, and then we've got a cold front on the way by the middle of next week, and that'll bring us our next best chance for some scattered showers and storms, as well as cool us back down to near normal. So here's a current look at what's going on across the U.S. We've got high pressure anchored just off to our east, and that's bringing some winds out of the south. So that's why we were able to heat up into the lower 90s today. The humidity was increased as well, so you'll feel that it is pretty sticky out there. It's been sticky for the last couple of days, but it is only going to get a little bit worse here as we go through the weekend. But we're not seeing any showers or storms out there right now. There really wasn't anything to track out there earlier this afternoon either. We stayed dry with mostly sunny skies, and temperatures now are down into the upper 80s, or excuse me, upper 70s to lower 80s. 81 degrees in Evansville, 76 in Henderson, around 78 up towards Fairfield, and around 78 as well out towards Huntingburg, excuse me. And then looking at our current feels like temperatures, it does feel a little bit warmer out there. It still feels like 93 there in Owensboro. It feels just shy of 90 in Greenville, and it feels like the mid 80s here in Evansville. We'll drop down into the lower 70s overnight tonight, and again, some patchy areas of fog will be possible, especially when the dew point and the temperature get really close together. That's oftentimes what we see. So we'll see that. We may wake up to that early tomorrow morning. So if you have anywhere to go early, then keep in mind you may need to slow down a little bit, especially for any denser patches of fog that you encounter, but that will kind of dissipate pretty quickly as we go through the morning hours as sunshine kind of erodes away at that fog. So won't be an issue. We'll see mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, very similar to what we had today and the last several days. We'll get the heating of the day. That'll conjure up a few clouds, maybe a few sprinkles or a few showers, but really not expecting widespread shower or thunderstorm activity here. I do think most of us will stay dry through the weekend with temperatures topping out in the mid to upper 90s, 97 by Sunday. So let's track everything out here on our future radar. Quiet overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. Through tomorrow afternoon, still mostly sunny to partly cloudy, pretty dry out there. And then as we get into early Sunday morning, it looks like there could be the chance for maybe a stray shower or two, but outside of that, not really seeing much beyond. But looking at our rain and storm chances through this weekend and into the beginning of the work week, they stay on the lower side, more isolated. Again, can't completely rule out someone getting a few showers or a thunderstorm with just the heating of the day, but really won't be anything organized or widespread. That will come along the leading edge of a cold front for Wednesday and into Thursday, and that will also help bring those temperatures down a good bit as well. So here's a look at our temperature trend. So through the weekend, 97. 70s would be nice, wouldn't it? 97 degrees for our high on Sunday, getting topped out by that on Monday. 98 degrees. That looks like the warmest day of the week so far, at least the 7-day period here. And then those thunderstorms move through on Wednesday, still topping out in the lower 90s. However, it's Thursday into Friday that we start to feel a little bit of that relief. We're looking at temperatures going back down to around normal into the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. So temperatures will come down. Dew points will also start to fall back down. It won't be as refreshing as that front we had a few weekends ago, not last weekend, but the weekend prior. We had a nice fall front move through, and the temperatures were down in the 80s. Dew points were in the 50s, and it felt wonderful. I don't really think we'll see that kind of relief from this front for next week, but it will be a little bit better out there with the combination of the temperatures coming down. Dew points more normal for this time of year, so nothing too crazy or too exciting for us with that, but it'll be a little bit better. But looking at the peak heat index values, so Saturday and Sunday, or at least tomorrow, we should remain below heat advisory criteria, just hanging out around 104. It's really when we get up to 105 or greater that we start to run into a higher risk for heat-related illnesses. And we could be topping out around 107 by Monday and Tuesday. So it's important, remember, that this impacts the body and it's a cumulative effect. So several days of temperatures that high will definitely wear you down. So you want to make sure you're drinking plenty of water and staying cool. Sunstroke and heat cramps or even heat exhaustion is likely, and heat stroke is possible with any prolonged exposure or physical activity, especially if it's outdoors. But like I mentioned before, we will cool back down. Looking at the Climate Prediction Center outlook for August 21st through the 25th, it does look like we'll at least see temperatures returning to normal. And you can see that there on the 7-day forecast, with temperatures only topping out in the upper 80s by Thursday and Friday. But we've got to get through another round of some summer heat here as we kind of near the end of summer. We're kind of halfway through August. A lot of kids went back to school this past week, so it kind of just felt like we were on the track to a more crisp, cool fall. But then, summer, making sure we remember that it's still around. But in addition to these hot temperatures outside of the tri-state, we do still have a reminder that summer is still, in fact, in season. We've got hurricane season kind of nearing its peak as we head towards the end of this month and into the beginning of September. So now we're kind of in the rising action of hurricane season, and we've got our first hurricane of the Atlantic hurricane season. It's Hurricane Erin. It is a Category 1 storm right now with sustained wind speeds of around 85 miles per hour. It's currently moving west-northwest at 17 miles per hour, and it's closest right now to Puerto Rico, and that is going to continue to push off and pass to the north there, and it's expected to not make landfall within the U.S. or any islands there. It looks like it's going to kind of skirt right in between Bermuda and the Carolinas there, but pretty impressive for the first hurricane of the season. And not only is it already a hurricane, it's a strong Category 1, but it's going to become a major hurricane, Category 4, as it nears the coast, or at least the East Coast. Again, it's going to stay off, but it is going to be heading out to sea. But that is a strong storm. Sustained wind speeds of 145 miles per hour possible within that by the time we get into Monday. So thank gosh that is going to be steering away from the U.S. However, as I mentioned before, hurricane season is just getting started here, so we're going to have that outlook for some tropical systems continuing through the month of August. We've already got another area that's kind of outlooked for potential development right off the coast of Africa there. That's where we see a lot of these waves of low pressure that exit off the coast and they move across the Atlantic Ocean in what we call the tropical development zone right here, and that's pretty much what that is highlighting in the tropical outlook. So that is your little tropical look there. So again, we're going to be hot here in the tri-state through this weekend. We are on alert Sunday through Tuesday for triple-digit heat index values. We should stay mostly dry during this time frame. However, you can't rule out that chance for a stray shower or a thunderstorm. Better chances for storms arrive Wednesday with the passage of a cold front, and then temperatures come back down to around average for Thursday and Friday of next week. So that is all I've got here for the forecast. I'm going to go ahead and check out some of the comments. If you guys have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them for you. It looks like we've got a couple of people tuning in tonight. Sergeant Williams tuning in from Owensboro. Laura is watching from Dawson Springs. Cheyenne says good evening. Same thing from Jazzy. Can't wait for the cooler weather next week, says Laura. And Jazzy's also excited for that. And Ron is asking, no rain. We do have that potential, again, heating of the day type pop-up storms or showers each day, but better chances for scattered showers and storms don't arrive until Wednesday. And Paula says good evening, and Ricky says hello. Hello to all of you guys and good evening. But that is all I'm seeing here in the comments, so I'm going to hop off the Facebook live stream. I'll send you guys over to 14 News at 10 for all the latest news and weather headlines. Until then, everybody, stay safe and have a great rest of your night.